All right, we are on Mikvaot Perek Chet, Mishnah Gimel. We're continuing, the Mishnah continues to discuss, at least at the beginning of the Mishnah, what's considered a Baal Keri. We said a Baal Keri is a person who had a seminal emission, Baal Kerian, who requires Tvila and what's not. So we learned certain seminal emissions, or certain emissions that were not considered Baal Keri and certain were. Says the Mishnah, Hametil tipin avot mitoch ha'ama, a person matil who emits tipin avot, thick drops, mitoch ha'ama. Ama refers to the sexual organ. So a person urinates drops, thick drops, tameh, that's a Baal Keri. Divrei Rabbi Lezer ben Chisma. Okay, and some explain that Tanaitic explains that many say that the Chachamim disagree with Rabbi Lezer ben Chisma. Hameharher balayla. Maharher is from Hirurim, thoughts. A person who has thoughts at night. And he woke up and he found that his flesh, his sexual member was warm. Tameh. What does Maharher balayla? It means he had a dream. He had a sexual dream. And he woke up. When he woke up, he found his body was warm, i.e. probably had an erection or something. But he couldn't find any. He couldn't find any stains. Tameh. He still Tameh says Devadei Ra'ak Keri. He certainly had an emission. But it was a minor emission. But therefore, he has to consider himself Tameh. That's the end of the issue of what's considered Baal Keri. Now we come to a very, very somewhat complicated, very, very interesting issue of Poletet Zera, Poletet Shichvat Zera. A woman. So we said that Keri is mitameh. That seminal emission or semen is an avatuma. So when a couple has sexual relations, so then the woman has this Keri as this semen, right? The husband, obviously the male, ejaculates his semen into the female, and now it's inside of her. So while inside of her, she's not tume'ah. But if she's poletet, some of it will float, means to come out. She'll drip. Okay, she will. I don't know what the medical term is, but she will emanate. That's not the word. Shichvat Zera. This semen. It will fall. It will come out of her. So the question is, how long is the semen considered semen that's mitameh? So we have a machloket between Rabbi Lezer ben Azariah, Rabbi Ishmael, and Rabbi Akiva. How long afterwards is whatever emanates from her vaginal area, is that considered tameh? So it's all based on. So all of this is based on. The Tanaitic explains at the end of the Mishnah. I don't know why he should have put it in the beginning, but he explains based on a pasuk in Shemot, and this is all from Matan Torah. So Moshe Rabbeinu is going to give the Jewish people the Torah, and he says everyone agrees that the Jewish people got the Torah on Shabbat morning. Vayered Moshe min ha'ar la'am. So Moshe came down from the mountain. He's all getting them ready. Vayikadesh atam. He sanctified them. Vayichbesusim lotam, and they washed their garments. They took him to the mikvah. Vayomer lam. He says, "Hey, yunachodim l'shloshet yamim. Be prepared for 3 days. Al tikshu elisha. Don't approach your wives. I.e., do not refrain from having sexual relations with your wives for 3 days. Why? Because again, the halachic issue of seminal emissions, they are mitameh, and you have to be pure. So everybody has to go to the mikvah. Even your wives have to go to the mikvah. And then, on the third day, then Matan Torah began. So based on this, what does it mean, a yunachonim l'shloshet yamim? You have to be pure for 3 whole days. You have to be pure on the third day, l'shloshet yamim. This is the nature of the machloka between Rabbi Lezer ben Azariah, Rabbi Ishmael, and Rabbi Akiva. So I'm going to explain to you what their shitot are now in advance, okay, and that will help us very clearly understand what the Mishnah says. Rabbi Lezer ben Azariah says the following. Okay, if a poletet zera bayom hashlishi, if whatever, and we count days. So he says if she's poletet on day 1, meaning on that day, the day they had relations, or day 2, the second day, she's tame'ah. But on the third day, she's tahora. And he says, what does it mean? Hayu nechonim l'shloshet yamim. Be ready for 3 days. That means be ready on the third day. Hufreshu b'yom chamishi. They separated from their wives. I'm going to make this a little bit wider so we can focus. For Shu b'yom chamishi, they separated from the wives on Thursday. Tavlu b'la Shabbat. And then they, on the night of Shabbat, on Friday night, they went to the mikvah. So Thursday they separated. Friday, Shabbat is the third day. Rabbi Shmuel says no. That poletet b'shlishi tme'ah. The third day is tme'ah. But on the fourth day, whatever she sees is not considered seminal emission anymore. It's been in her body too long, and therefore tahora. So he says, therefore, they separated themselves on Wednesday, okay, and they were ready for 3 days. They were nechonim. They were prepared. They were prepared for, and then went to the mikvah on Shabbat. So I think what he means is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then they went to the mikvah. They were nechonim for 3 days, and then they went on Shabbat. Rabbi Akiva says no. He says it's not days, it's called onot. And this is really important to understand. An onah is half a day, is either the night or the day. Every day is divided into 2 onot, the night and the day, night and day. So Rabbi Akiva says it doesn't matter, and we're going to need this information in the Mishnah, obviously. He says it doesn't matter what the days were, but he cares about chamesh onot. Why? Because he says they separated the Yom Revi'i in the morning. So in order to get to Shabbat, they had one day, one onah, 2, 3, 4, 5 onot, and then they went to the mikvah. So Rabbi Akiva says, since they separated here, they had 5 onot. They only had 5 onot, and therefore, that's what you have to have, 5 onot. And if someone within 5 onot, a poletet betoch 5 onot shlemot tame'ah, and after that, anything after that is tahora. That's going to be the machloket in our Mishnah. We're going to use this little chart here. I'll make a little more space here also so we can see it a little bit better. Now let's go back to, with all that being said, let's go back to our Mishnah and see it inside the Mishnah. It says the Mishnah, Poletet, Zera bayom hashlishi tahora, Rabbi Lazar ben Azariah, as we said, a woman who then, after relations, on the third day after relations, she sees something coming out, the emissions of the seminal emission coming out of her, emanating from her body on the third day. Once it's the third day, it's Torah. That's Rabbi Lazar ben Azariah, as we've seen. Okay, so therefore, and the Bartanura says, if it's Shimsha b'chamishi b'Shabbat, right? She had relations on Thursday, upalta b'Shabbat, and she sees the semen on Shabbat, then she's still right. It doesn't matter. Okay, it doesn't matter. He's giving you the introduction, but it doesn't matter how many onot it was. Okay, even let's go back to our chart just to show you. He says it doesn't matter how many onot. She had relations here, and then she goes to the mikvah here. So she only has 2 onot shleimot in between. Doesn't matter as long as it's the third day. Where Elizabeth Azariah says she's good. Rabbi Ishmael says no. It has to be on the 4th day, and it doesn't matter. And he says pa'amim sheim arba onot. Sometimes she'll only have 4 onot shleimot in between. Pa'amim sheim chamesh. Pa'amim sheim sheish. Sometimes it's 5 full onot. Sometimes she'll have 6 full onot. But it has to be on the 4th day. Let's go back to our chart and see how could it be that way. Because he says, let's assume how could he have 4 onot if she has relations on the evening of, the afternoon of Wednesday, then she only has 1, 2, 3, 4. If she has relations on the beginning of the morning of Revi'i, then she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If she has relations at the beginning of the night of the Revi'i, on literally at the evening of Wednesday night, then she'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So sometimes it will be only 4, sometimes 5, sometimes 6, but she has to have 4 days. It has to be the 4th day. And we count days, 4 days. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and it has to be the 4th day in order for it to be Tahora. That's Rabbi Yishmael. And as we said, let's go back to Rabbi Kiva. Omer Lolam Chamesh. Rabbi Kiva says, no, it has to be 5 onot. Once she has 5 onot, then she's Tahora. We don't care about days. We care about onot. All right. This is a complicated sugya. It took a little while to explain. Hope I explained it clearly. Comments, questions, you can email me or WhatsApp me. oursupporter@gmail.com. We'll dedicate our learning to memory of my father, Rav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. Make it a great day.